versus Infamous is coming up right now. Game 1 of the Grand Finals. Huge deal. An invite to the World Championships is on the line for these two teams. Let's hand it over to Riku and Asarai. Take it away for Game 1.
So, ladies and gentlemen, this is it. Grand Finals for the 2017 Summer Championships. Let's get it on with the drafting as Impunity immediately right off the bat take out that Idris.
It's a very quick drafting here for both of these sides. Again, best of 5 series. A lot is on the line. Only one slot to Worlds. They've definitely have more room to experiment as this is the first game, but they're putting whatever they're good at this time. And I'm guessing if we're going to have surprise picks, it's definitely going to be on the last slot this time. Grace, good pickup by Impunity, but in exchange of that, Kestrel will be on Infamous, with the Crawl being taken out of the table.
So they just don't want to deal with the Crawl right now as, I mean, although this is a first pick Kestrel and it's kind of susceptible to these dive type of heroes, and I think Crawl is one of the ones that they fear the most and they just don't want to deal with that. And at the same time, at least if Impunity goes for another counter, they can actually just put this Kestrel on a different role. If ever, this can actually go for either a CP jungle Kestrel or even a weapon Kestrel. It can go either way. We've seen it happen once before. It can happen again. Catherine, well, you picked rather
Scarf is open.
Banned out here for Impunity, and like you said, Scarf is open.
I wonder if they're going to be taking Scarf first game. They already drafted this in game number 2. Grace first draft, Scarf and the Batiste, and they won this again. It's Popeyes, and it worked wonders for them. With Lance, Infamous already being settled for that one, and they're comfy with that. We saw Clowny. He was phenomenal during game number 1 on that Lance, and I feel like it's one of those comfort picks. Idris taken out early, so let's see what else is going to be their replacement in this composition.
They're preempting the Batiste pick, but Batiste works so horribly wrong against a Black Feather and a Scarf, so something else in the jungle might be their pick of the litter here.
I wonder.
Well, Uni does play Ataka, so maybe Ataka as well in the jungle could be good.
I'm looking at their previous picks from yesterday, but Samuel, they played this yesterday. It fits with them. It has a consistent, they have a safe late game. They're going to be settled with that. Their early game is also settled because Kestrel lands good poke. They've got the right amount of CCs mid game wise once level 6 comes. They've got the Oblivion coming. They really wanna keep choking the jungler of the enemy side. But yeah, let's head on to our very first game in the Grand Finals, Impunity versus Infamous.
Into the Halcyon fold we go, as it's gonna be Blue City in the lane here with the Scarf, jungle Def Q on the Black Feather, but both of them will actually go for this fast push. So this is what we're talking about since ever from yesterday. Impunity's one strat, which is to go for that sentry rotation. Push the lane fast, go to the jungle, take out the camps of Infamous, and then immediately go for the Elder Treant when it hits that 4-minute mark, take out that Crystal Sentry and repeat. So what Infamous is doing right now is they're trying to at least fast push it, but I don't think they have the fastest of wave clears here, so they're going to have a little bit of a hard time against this type of strategy.
They're going to be a little bit more patient this time around, as it is really going to be painful. They have to deal with that Scarf and Black Feather early on to the game. Level 2 power spike already for themselves. I'm not expecting too much fights during the early phases of the game in comparison to what we've been seeing so far. So I really expect them to be a little bit more passive, both of these teams. Find the right opportunity. We've seen that slow starts before. Look at them, confidently rotating. They're going to be finding the Kestrel, or rather the Samuel here, and they don't get a steal.
Oh, wow. So that's the counter of Infamous right now. Get Vision, have 2 heroes, actually even 3 heroes that have poke through the walls and just go for the steal, and that's what they're doing right now. This is smart, and at the same time, if they try to dive, a level 2 Samuel is very scared to deal with, because you saw how much damage he dealt with there with the help from a little bit of the Githian wall from Clowny.
They decide to go in with a Benediction, But the thing is, with what they're doing, they want to pressure Uni. Nicely done. They're going to keep up with the pressure. They're going to bump into Cote d'Ivoire. And it hits Kestrel. Just eliminates the retreat route of Impunity. And here comes another Impale. Blue City is just trying to land in the goop, land in the slow, land in the auto, but it's not going to be enough as Clowny is going to survive the onslaught.
Wow. 8 HP on Clowny. Even a flick into the flick onto his armor would have killed him. That was very clutch from Impunity, and this is why they're the ones who are pro players. You saw that, you know, the answer to this was fast clear. What Infamous did is, okay, we're gonna beat you at your own game. We're gonna get last hits better than you, and we're gonna have a lance so that it can initiate well, and then we have the damage, we have the poke from the Soundwheel in the jungle, which is easier for him because, again, level 2 spike, and it worked. Wow.
It worked. It worked wonders. The thing about that rotation is that you have to make sure that you're going to keep pressuring Uni, and it has to work. What Infamous did, because if you do that 3-man rotation, that leaves Spaghetti free in lane, free to farm, free to push, free to siege. And then with that, it gives more control over the laning part of the map. Infamous, what they did was, I'll hold that thought, we might see something.
Damage onto Uni. There is the Holy Nova. He has to back away. He does go down, but that is the 1-for-1. Infamous is not going to let them escape with a kill, but still good initiations by Impunity. Looking at the CS, 12 to Blue City on the 18 of Uni. So he's really getting, you know, the advantage in the jungle.
Exactly. They replied to the 3-man rotation to the jungle by getting Clowny and Uni. Good impale towards the wall, for the Ginthian wall, and then Kestrel just blocked their escape path and finished off a target. That type of rotation from Impunity can easily be punished if they're not careful. I understand they do have the vision from earlier, but they have to be really wary of these plays. Impale misses, but then again, Infamous has the space to keep moving forward.
All right, so I'm going to say something after this forced push from Infamous. They're trying to really bait it out. They got a lot of siege potential. Even though they don't have the insane amount of wave clear, I feel, they can still clear it fast enough with a 3-man rotation and then just try to go for the siege with the Kestrel. And as Impunity try to push them out, oh, 1-shot, 1 kill.
Oh.
Damage onto Blue City, though. It's a very, very squishy Scarf.
You can see that the level gap is apparent. Level 4 already onto Clowny. Spaghetti already level 6. 1-shot, 1 kill. Will definitely push Blue City away, which means their wave clear is gone. I'm pretty sure Black Feather won't take the risk of getting auto attacks on himself. And no steals for you, buddy. But in the meantime, they do get a turret for themselves. And I feel like that's those small little victories that will eventually lead into more map control and definitely more space for Infamous to work with these rotations. And meanwhile, Impunity this time around, it's okay. Especially if Cote d'Ivoire already reaches level 6. Divine Intervention, definitely more safety for DefQ to dive into the back line of Infamous. But Spaghetti, I mean, we already have Clowny into the equation. But Spaghetti already is the type of player that is able to use active camo in a very smart way whenever these clashes happen.
All right, so the other thing, yeah, you're actually absolutely right about that. His positioning with the Kestrel, especially even though he's on a weapon power Kestrel, who doesn't have really the best active camo duration, he is able to, you know, use that to full effect. The thing here that I noticed from Infamous is once Impunity actually doesn't have any members in the jungle, it's going to be a fight, there's going to be the 1-shot, 1 kill, and it's going to deal a good amount of damage onto Cote d'Ivoire. DefQ already using the Rose defense to get out of the fight just now as Infamous is on that warpath. Again, just to finish what I said, Infamous, whenever they see Impunity not in the lane, they hard push it and force Impunity to deal with them. But the problem is, Impunity's composition cannot deal with him at the moment. They do have the Grace, they do have the Black Feather, but against the Lance, it's really not enough.
Whoa, was that a steal? Impale is going to miss. Are they going to be aiming for more? Looks like they're going to be respecting that and back away for now as Spaghetti is still full HP and Blue City and Cote d'Ivoire. The thing about the composition is that it is too dangerous to do two-man rotations or one man to actually try to scout and stuff like that. So they always rotate as a 3. Infamous does the same, but their kit is perfect for a paired up duo rotation. Kestrel Lance or a Uni or rather a Lance and a Samuel. So the CC that they need for the initiate is perfect and it synergizes with Spaghetti and Uni as well. So level 6 and everybody else, they're going to be staying right there, waiting. One shot, one kill.
They were
won't hit
spotted
anyone.
out. They know that the Impunity was actually hiding on top brush.
Interesting there. Goop being dropped. Spitfires being laid out as well. Impale will miss. Going to hit the turret right there. Glimmer shots being active. Camo being used by Spaghetti, gaining repositioning.
There's the Dragon's Breath. Here it is. It's going to be burning them a little bit alive, but the heals come out from the Grace and Impunity, or rather, the heals will come out from the Grace and counter out the damage from Infamous, while that burn is going to be starting to deal a whole chunk of hurt onto Infamous. They do lose Uni, but aside from that, not too much. They might actually go for the gold bind and get a bit more advantage. Guess that's going to be a no for now. And Infamous, even though they lost one, still have around 3 to 4,000 gold lead.
That was the perfect divine intervention. The thing is, the divine intervention can definitely be challenged or canceled by Clowny here. So if he lands a very good CC onto wards while Cote d'Ivoire is channeling, then it's definitely something Infamous can work around with during these team fights here for Impunity and Infamous.
Itemization-wise, Eve of Harvest being brought up, bought already by Uni for a couple of minutes already. So that's why, I mean, even though he was blown up, if the fight actually elongates, he will be able to sustain. It's just that Impunity had the right mindset to actually keep bursting him down with the Scarf, with the Grace, while DefQ was being a distraction as he tried to go aggressive onto Spaghetti. Nice on point here from Impunity, and now they're setting it up. Huge Dragon's Breath once again. They get the shutdown onto the Kestrel, and Uni is trying to go for that kiting, but it's not really going to be enough, and they get the second kill as they look to push towards the lane.
Beautiful, beautiful play there by Impunity. Patience is a virtue. Is that what they're showing at this point? Eliminating the 2 damage dealers from the side of Infamous. That will equate into a gold mine. One shot, one kill. Will there be a steal? Looks like no. Clowny, on the other hand, tried his best as well. The tricky part of that is there's a lot of safety for Impunity side. And meanwhile, the burst coming from DefQ is definitely enough if they get the initial damage being laid onto the table. Thing is, there's not much sustain going around for Infamous in comparison to, having a Grace in your team. There's not much defense. You're going to be relying on the peel of Lance, but if that does not happen, DefQ is going to just ignore the front line into Spaghetti, and then with the backline damage of the Scarf, it's really one of those things where even though you want to focus DefQ, the damage has already been done, and you cannot retaliate anymore.
That's true. I mean, the thing here that actually made it so easy for Impunity to win that one was Infamous here should be the team to try and just kite and poke, but they're also trying to face front against Impunity because they have the Lance and the Samuel, who doesn't have the best in terms of range, and because of that they're left into a very weird situation because Black Feather is actually being a better, I would guess, secondary frontline than just Samuel is with his Lance.
Oblivion being used. Let's see the Gintian wall over to the Black Feather for the stun. Turret has been destroyed already as Kestrel is going to be destroying that while everybody was busy at the jungle side. Spaghetti doing a sneaky structure kill.
Smart decisions. I mean, if they can't fight him in the team fight, well, at least Impunity, they have to be 3-man. to be able to maximize their team fight prowess. But Infamous spotting that out, say that, okay, you know what, Spaghetti, you are on this weapon power Kestrel. Your pushing potential with the double Tyrant's Monocle and the Sorrow Blade is strong. Just go for it. We're going to try to delay them as much as possible. Do that. They did it, and now they still have an advantage, even though Impunity is looking to be scary as hell in the team fights.
Definitely, as they're going to be focusing on the farm. If you look at the CS, we've got 133 already on the Kestrel, and then 88 on the Black Feather, and 68 only on the Scarf. So they're really taking advantage of these 3-man rotations, leaving the lane unchecked. So Spaghetti's going to be continuing that. And once the item spikes are achieved, then Spaghetti will definitely have a comfortable time. Active camo being used, knows and spots the Grace.
It's going to be a little bit scary here. Githyan Wall was used. There is the 2-man impale, but it was blocked perfectly here by Impunity, though at the same time, you saw them forcing a bit too much, and they got into the danger zone. That is Infamous. They back away. They know that they couldn't take the fight just yet because DefQ and Blue City would be a bit too overextended in the fight, so they didn't want to touch it just yet.
And Infamous there wins another skirmish. And we'll see, though. They're going to be a little bit more patient. They've been waiting for Impunity to keep making these aggressive stances, as Clowny will find the opportunity as well, because Kestrel is ahead already in terms of farm, and Infamous is in a comfy spot to do this 3-man rotation and make Impunity, or force Impunity to find them, as flares are going up here and there. Good poke. Again, they can keep poking at them, and then they can force and initiate from them, which is now.
Clowny is taking such a bit of a beating, but at the same time, Spaghetti is starting to ramp up Quart d'Ivoire. Oh my God, the crossroads, the Oblivion into the sideline. That was, wow, that was great from Impunity. Quart d'Ivoire dodging the Oblivion and even healing himself up with the intervention. I don't know if you saw the ultimate of the Samuel, but that was just good timing.
Good timing indeed. Nice try coming from Infamous, but that is a 24-second cooldown Divine Intervention, which means a small window despite Oblivion not being open. That means no one can be saved in that short span of time. They have the pokes. Spaghetti is going to be dealing structure damage towards the turret, and they will be roaming around this jungle side, take whatever they can, as the Crystal Sentry will be joining in the battle. Is going to be chunked down into half health. Flares are going out here and there as Grace will try to intercept them.
Yeah, actually, there was an echo for the Grace there, so even if Infamous went in, there's still the usage of that one Divine Intervention, but more so than not, you would want at least for the whole cooldown, so you can Divine Intervention, Echo, and then Divine Intervention, which would make it a bit more optimal in terms of, you know, using 2 ultimates, or at least the Echo item. But like you said, Infamous, they got the Rain, they got the jungle, and, well, at least they choked out a little bit of the currency here for Infamous, or rather for Impunity, where they can actually farm. Although, this is a stalemate. Kraken has spawned, and this might be the determining factor for both of these teams, because I feel like Impunity are not out of it just yet. Even with a 4,000 gold lead, their composition doesn't feel like it is in a 4,000 gold disadvantage.
Exactly. 3 turrets left for Impunity. They've been chunking that down, but they're going to be starting a fight. Here they go. There's Quart d'Ivoire getting stunned by the Githyan Wall. Nice Crucible. Dragon Breath's going to burn everybody from Infamous. But is that enough? Black Feather already has fallen to battle, and Quart d'Ivoire and Blue City will try to run away from Clowny.
Okay, this is the cancer that I've seen happen from some of these Scarf players, but before that, it's still going to be the 2v2 in the jungle. They found out Blue City.
Ooh.
I believe there is a damage enough to be able to shut down the Scarf and Quart d'Ivoire. Are they really going to chase them down? That's the question here.
We'll see as they've been microing around. Benediction charging into Clowny is super low at this point, and Uni's going to be landing on the hits. Flares here and there, but they decide to just back away as Black Feather, DefQ already back in action.
All right, so there was actually one mistake from both of these teams on the team fight. One of those was they caught out Spaghetti in the open, because you saw in their positioning, Spaghetti was in the front line, right behind him was Clowny, and behind that was Uni, who was trying to go for the poke. That could have been Impunity winning the fight straight off the bat, but Blue City, for the thought of me, charged up his Dragon's Breath, and with that channel time that was being charged up from the ultimate, they got the kill onto Defkey, who's trying so hard to dive into the backline or even spot out Spaghetti. That could have been, in my opinion, Impunity's win, but a little bit of, I guess, the miss pick of the skill kind of left them, toe-to-toe with the trades.
Definitely, as the time duration to actually channel that in, Benediction on towards Spaghetti Gintian wall for the deny, as a lot of folks with the glimmer shots, impale, one shot, one kill, chunks down, Def Q, take note, there is still nice Crucible just to deny that Oblivion, active camo, no pokes there, but nice try coming from Infamous there as they're going to be chunking down that Kraken this time around. Echo already being used, correct?
Yes. So there still is that one Divine Intervention for the Grace. No reflex blocks for Blue City, as well as Def Q. And is that Crucible on cooldown? I don't think it is. I think it is, so they can use that. But no more reflex blocks. So if Clowny is pretty good on his timing with that Githian Wall or Impale, he can actually stun Impunity better. But at the same time, Infamous right here, they're trying to be as careful as possible because this Spaghetti is positioning not the best. He's been dealing the good damage, but his position isn't safe for him, so they're trying to be as cautious as possible. But for now, they will decide for the better and try to Kraken later on rather than now.
Learning from their previous matchup against Elite 8, that was insane. But now Impunity, they're going to be playing the patient game as Infamous is going to aim for the Crystal Sentry. Grace spots this and she's like, nope, I'm getting out of here.
One more life remaining on that Crystal Sentry as well before it dies, and I believe it empowers the minions here to actually push better for Infamous. Clowny spawning out Quad of Law, and you can hear Uni just putting out the pellets. Green pellets.
Green pellets indeed, as Defy is going to be charging in on towards Spaghetti. He's going to regain his position. Dragon Breath being charged in, and that is DefQ being eliminated, impaled towards Blue City. They're going to be finishing this off as Divine Intervention channels through Blue City just for the safety as Uni we chase. But let's focus on the Scarf. He's going to be isolated.
You saw how much damage the Scarf does if you just let him scoop fire it up. Why charge the Dragon's Breath again? This is the sickness right now of Impunity. Charge it with Def Q. Blue City will, dive with Def Q. Blue City will charge up, and then he won't deal enough damage. They even spot Quart of Law as he was. Okay, so the only reason why he would be there was to maybe try to get the last hit on the Kraken, and they spot him out. Infamous is reading Impunity like a book.
Definitely, they're not going to let, steals happen from the series of Elite 8. That's not going to happen anymore. And that's 20 seconds. That's a small time frame window for Infamous to keep pushing, to keep these carries unsafe. As 10 seconds, yes, Cote d'Ivoire will be back in time. Kraken is marching, one shot, one kill. Will be activated here. We'll see.
Wow. Damage from the Kraken is like slam it, jam it, and pop it. But now, here comes the fight. There's going to be an initiation, but look at this. He's so far. The Dragon's Breath is really doing little bits of damage, but DefQ finally finds Spaghetti in the midst of it all. Clowny will be left, but at the same time, you got to check out that Kraken who has been battering down onto the Vayne turret. One more shot could get that one, so that's still pretty good. That's only Spaghetti dead. Clowny should be able to combat roll out of this one. Yes, he will. And Impunity, they got Spaghetti, but they lost the turret. So I think it's still a win for Infamous.
Of course, it's a win for Infamous. Definitely, because we've seen this Kraken take time and time again, force the enemy team that has to deal with the Kraken into a fight that they can take. But Infamous is just going to be playing the chase game. Chase us, spend time with us, invest on us, so that you'll find out that you're tunnel visioning towards us. Hey, I've seen this brush before. That was in the previous game. But we'll see if they can find a target. Gintian Wall will stun 3 and stun 2.
Wow, he echoed for that second one as well, but there was no follow-up from Impunity.
Ooh.
Oh, here it is. Get the one again. This is a 3v3 MVP Sentry going in ham against every single one of them. Dragon's Breath, where the hell is Spaghetti? He needs to join in onto the fight because his teammates are going down.
He's
down,
backdooring.
down.
He's
no
backdooring.
freaking way. He's going to be breaking it down. He has to go back, but Spaghetti, oh, he's so dirty. And game number 1 taken by Infamous. Deep breaths, everyone. Deep breaths. What a game.
My jaw dropped. I cannot believe that happened.
I was wondering.
Look how calm Spaghetti is.
Okay,
He's just drinking water.
Sorry, I was standing up there. Production said, get us sit down.
Oh my god. Drinking on my